Now I wanted to say before I started this review that I did not actually pick this up in store. I had a good friend, Pocky Bandit, pick this up for me in California because over here in the East Coast, at the time of shooting this video, the Dragon Dagger is not available. Now at the time of shooting this video, this is a Toys R Us exclusive item, but nowhere on the package itself has the sticker of Toys R Us exclusiveness, or Toys R Us exclusivité. For the French Canadians. Now, one of the biggest features of this item is being die-cast metal. Unfortunately, the blade is not die-cast, but that's kind of fortunate as well. Other key features are the 24 karat gold-plated stuff around the die-cast metal, and I'll get to that a little bit later, as well as having the classic theme song that it's pointed out right here. And here is the back of the package. And here are some of the key features that Bandai wants us to know. Press and hold to activate the Lux sounds, and that is for the mouthpiece over there. Zord's Combined Tune is in this button. Classic theme song and Summon Dragon Zord tunes are some of the sounds that you will hear, as well as sounds from the original series. Like most of the legacy items, it comes with a little bit of backstory, but in this case, it tells the story of the Green Ranger and how he became into fruition. Taking a look at the Dragon Dagger out of the package, there isn't really much there. You get the Dragon Dagger in its tray, as well as a plastic cover. But what you do actually get is the Legacy Dragon Dagger instructions on how to replace the battery, as well as how to play. Alright, so we have the dagger in its entirety right now. One question you might ask yourself is, what are the die-cast parts, or what parts of the dagger are made of die-cast? So, from the handle, from here to about right here, that is pretty much all plastic with hits of die-cast throughout. So pretty much the butt end of the dagger right here is die-cast, and the easiest way to tell is pretty much just putting your hand on it, and if it's cold, it's die-cast, or if there's a change in temperature where it feels like this part is, you know, different temperature than this, and it's obviously die-cast. We have the buttons up here, which give a nice tactile feel when you do press them, and they respond rather nicely. You can kind of spin each button around. And then we have the mouthpiece over here, which is made of plastic, and you can push that down. We have the dragon coin made of die-cast metal with the 24 karat very, very thin layering of gold on top. And we have this band that goes all the way through, which is also made of die-cast metal. Then we have this plastic piece over here, which is consisting of the on and off switch. And then going to the back, we have kind of a plastic chrome like piece which has the speaker grill right behind there. And we have this piece over here, which is also die-cast metal. Moving to the blade part of the Dragon Dagger, pretty much this part right here is all die-cast. You can see that. And I believe this green piece that accents and goes around the, pretty much, I want to say the body of the dagger is just made of plastic and is painted green. And there is really some texture in there. If you run your finger on top of it, there is really nice features in there. And then, of course, this is also 24 karat thin layering of gold. And you might be wondering if the blade is actually die-cast metal. Bandai has thought about it, and no, it is not. You can actually bend the blade, as you can see right there. It is made of a pretty thick plastic, but it is malleable and pretty bendable and stuff like that. So it's not that bad, but this is pretty heavy as is. Now let's get on to the electronics. To turn on the Dragon Dagger, you can see right there is the on and off switch, and this is pretty accessible, and honestly, with the slightest amount of effort, it pretty much moves on. So I've been known to hit this quite a few times by accident when I didn't want to. So in the first mode, where you don't press the mouthpiece, this is what it sounds like furthest from the mouthpiece. You have some role-playing sounds in there. So each button corresponds to a different one. And as I said before, the buttons on here are very tactile and give great feedback when you do press them. Now to activate the second portion of the sounds, more importantly, the summoning of the Dragon Zord, we're going to go first one, closest to the mouthpiece. Again, each button corresponds to a different sound. Then we're going to go from the furthest from the mouthpiece. The actual summoning of the Dragon Zord. Now it does sound a little bit weirder, and there is the grill right here. I'm going to try to put it as close as the camera. So, there. Try to move it. You guys can hear how loud it is compared to if the speaker grill, or if we flipped it over and put it just as close. Because it is facing the back. And now we go to the middle one, which is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song, still holding the mouthpiece. And you can actually let go of the mouthpiece and it will still play. To end it, you can press pretty much any button. Not any button, you have to press the mouthpiece. And that will actually end the song. Now the songs on here, or the sounds on here, seem pretty good, but my biggest gripe is the speaker, and honestly the sound quality isn't as great as I thought it would be. I'm going to switch this off so I don't press anything, but you do get good sounds with it. And let's go into my final impressions and actual kind of final thoughts. Alright, so the Legacy Dragon Dagger, my final thoughts and opinions. Now, the Legacy Dragon Dagger is slated for a March release. I think it's the 18th, the 8th, something with an 8 in it. But I did pick mine up early thanks to Pocky Bandit. He lives in an area in pretty much Los Angeles. And usually they get their stuff first. So, West Coast, Nevada, I think Southwest pretty much of the United States get their items first. And then probably 2 weeks to a month later, you'll see mostly the Legacy items come out, or pretty much any Power Rangers items come out on the East Coast. So I'm very fortunate to get this, but it did come at a price of more than what I would have paid if I had just waited and, you know, hoped that Toys R Us would have shipped mine on that March date. But I will say that it was worth it. I really love this item, and coming from a person that owns the original Dragon Dagger, this is a huge upgrade. I will say that it is worth the $80. Simple and short, there you go. There's your answer, is worth the $80. The die-cast metal was appropriately used throughout the Dragon Dagger, and the gold accents of 24 carats were used properly as well. The Dragon coin looks fantastic on it, as well as the buttons and the accents as well. For the sounds, however, it does sound a little bit grainy and not the proper sounds that you would have heard from the original series from Zyuranger or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It seems like they did edit it a little bit or re-recorded it. And just to let you guys know, for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song, they need to pay the guys actual royalties to have that on the actual Dragon Dagger. So if you're wondering if $80 seems steep, that's another good reason why. So you do need to pay those people who did sing those songs to have it exclusive on the Dragon Dagger. Would I recommend an everyday person that probably started out collecting Power Rangers or toys? Honestly, I would. This thing is pretty much for everyone that is into collecting as is. Now, do I recommend it to get it for a probably 10-year-old? Definitely not. $80 is definitely not worth it. You can probably pick up a 2010 version on eBay. I'm not sure how much those go for. They were really, there's huge discrepancies on the price there. They went up to $60 from what Chucky B has told me, but this is definitely a toy collector's and adult collector's item. Definitely not for those who like to play and stuff like that. Not for kids like that. But anyways, this is a great item for your collection. As a hardcore Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, this is it for me. This is what, you know, I was so hyped up for 2014 after San Diego Comic-Con. And thank you, Bandai of America, for absolutely knocking it out of the park with this item. And hopefully the Legacy Dragon Zord will be the same way. So that's pretty much it for me, Ranger Reviewer. I will see you guys later. Peace, love, Zordon. I'll check it. Looking for an excellent place to pre-order the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink Ranger? Look no further than BigBadToyStore.com, where they're accepting pre-orders today. Links in the description down below.